Maybe Windows. But this stuff is.
Second. So wait for me a few minutes and I will be back.
I've literally sat here in this class. Like literally, I could go in here and find. This. That's like, it should be. So you already have this. And so. It's just an app. Did you have the? I heard this like a long time ago. It was as I was realizing I was having like director issues. No. Thank you. And sorry. No, there's an executive. Yeah, so this in here is one of these.
Okay. Okay. So for the system design, we still just the lecture time. So today is mainly the lecture. So we'll talk about the user interface. And just like be careful our okay. So in the last time we talked about the CSMS, like some different diagrams showing the structures. So let's say we have the database, then how can we have a master one, or we create a leader, and then we try to make other copy for the database. But when we design a system, so how to store the data, because data is the must, like what we can contain in our system. So no matter our login information or like any product information, so everything is data. Okay. So when we're working on it, then we need to draw the architecture diagrams, what's the location, network, and deployment diagrams. And all those like what's the design, what's the external technology architecture. So all this we need to draw. We have the different. If you remember, sometimes we need to draw the deployment diagram, including, okay, let's say we have the application server. So what are the server contain? So what are the tables? And then we will connect to the our database server. And what will we drift? Okay, so here's the idea of we're doing. And then why not we'll go, here's the system, like what we're talking first about requirements. So that one is more likely to define the structure of it. And then we talk about the back end, so the server side. And then why not, how about our front end? So when we talk about front end, is the UI. when we talk about UI, not only what we can see, but also we have the term called the user experience. So it's called the UX. So you'll hear a lot about like UI, UX. So UX is more about the what's a UI. So like how to know, how will like define what's the difference between UI and UX?
Experience and how we intend to design it.
Yeah. So it's so kind of like more like a feeling. Yeah. And so when you even you think about like when I show the message, or like when I try to put the input field, or I want to put the button. Okay. For UI, just okay, I have a button. I have a form. Okay. But where did you put, like on the left-hand side, right-hand side, or how big is the button? What's the color? So all this like is the UX. Because you want to there's like some statistic, or if you go online, you know, okay. So most of the time, where the cursor located at. So you know, like all these have information. So you know, most of the time, if the user log into your website, or they browse a certain website, so what are the common location of their cursor? Then you know, okay, so most of the time they pointing at this point or in this area. Then you try to put the important, or you put the content or a button at that area, within that area, then you okay, so they will easy to click on that button. Especially you are like trying to build a like online shop, let the user to purchase. Then you okay, because the button is like, let's say most of the user will locate their browser nearby this area. Okay, then maybe I need to put the purchase button right here near this area. So is that okay? Every time I can like put like add to cart, and then like pay. Okay. So this one is about the experience. So we need to know the like principle of the user interface design, and then transitioning from the analysis to the user interface. So and now how can we design all those report statement, turnaround document? So right here. So for the UI design, must like consider the entire user experience. Okay. So for the user good UI, so need to base on a good design principle. So the principle including like visibility, affordance, like feedback. Okay. Poor design will make the information system unusable, and also storyboard are powerful tools for the UI design. Why now, if you use the Adobe, they do have a application, so you can. I know a long time ago it's a free version, but I'm not so sure right now it's still free or not. So if you're a student account, you may be able to use it. So you can create a storyboard. So you can, if you need to create the web page, yes, you can create a web page. If you need to create mobile phone, mobile app, also you can create. And build for the you can create different storyboard. Let's say if I click on this button, what's the next page? Or if I click on the list and then click on the item, so what's the next? So you know the flow. Okay. And for when we design the UI, like first is like the flow, and then next is like physically. So in long time ago, lots of company, they would invite some real end user or potential user to their company, and then they will give them like kind of a coupon, and then let them, okay, if I designing you really, so this is a paper. So when I'm working for one company, we're designing an app. Okay, so we need to let the user to feel how to use this app. So we put the different paper, and then okay, if you click on this pink button, so what's the next page? So we need to print out and then cutting a board, and then really fit to the iPhone size, and then we're switching the every page. Okay. So within that process, we are observing, like we are looking at the user, how do they click it when they look at your app, where they focus on which part. Okay. So okay, if they look at it, they want to like go back. So where will they try to click, or like the location? Okay, maybe they are familiar with the iPhone. They'll know, okay, the black button always on the top left corner, then okay, I should put it over there. If I want to cancel it, where should I put the cancel? Okay. So I need to put some text message like showing, okay, it's a back button, or can I put the arrow so it can represent it's the back. So that's how we put it. So we also have some like input, output, directly input that like human or you. So it's a user and actor. Or sometimes like we go through between, if we have a dialogue, so between the actor and system. What's the system? So when I post it and the API we receive it, then what the system returns. So it must like focus on the entire user experience. So like with the when we say the HIC, so it's a short term, you hear a lot like human computer interaction, and also have a like user centered design. So we really need to focus on the user and evaluate the design, so to ensure the usability and iterative development. So when we need to design, okay, we need to think what the possible equipments. Okay, do they require to have a screen? If like on the desktop, do they need to have a keyboard to input it? Keypad, mouse, like webcam, yeah, those things, or screen element like windows, menu, buttons, picture, all these things, so on. And when we talk about like HCI, we have like the direct manipulation, so they can display on it, so to look like the like physical objects. So maybe we need to have pictures, or we may have some like graphic symbols. We see those like icons. So when we look at the icon, we know, okay, what's this one used for? Okay, for a profile, why now if I say I need to have a icon for profile, so which icon you can link up with? Or like when you say, okay, this one represents profile. So most of the time we have a human like that one, that icon, right? For design the UI. So if I want to see make a icon for a profile, user profile, so what's the common icon we are using? Which one do you know? There's a shadow human shape, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you look at it, okay, this one is referred to a profile. So even I don't have to put the text right over there, it's like profile. Yeah, you know, it's like, or for setting, what's setting? What's
Here.
yeah, it's a real. So all this is really when we have a user experience like designing, is okay. Even I just use the icon, I'm telling you what's this one, what's the purpose for this button. Okay, and then for the desktop, so desktop is showing the visual display like with the regions, and then what's the space and collections. Okay, and also the documents. So how can we represent the paper page in form like with the page numbers, dialogue. So dialogue is between the user, we say the actor, with the system. So how can we change the conversation and dialogue for the text, voice? So with some buttons. So that's how we design. Okay. So right here will be all the examples we are going to use. Okay. So even we're taking our like the Microsoft like documents, you see, okay, I have a document. So when we open it, let's start with a new documents. Taking a design. Okay, so when we open the Google document, so what's the first page? So when the first page, we maybe try to create a template. We have a certain template, and the template including, okay, maybe most of would be the blank one. And then maybe I want to show, okay, some reasons I want to have a quick access, right? So if you want to let the user have a quick access, then how many reasons item? Okay, So maybe 10, 20. If like too many, it's really hard for me to read. Okay, so I want to check the most recent one. Okay, if I really want to put something really important, or like I want to access, maybe I will hint certain content, right? So I can access not only recent, but I will access more. Okay, so when I really click on the, okay, open the blank. Okay, so where should I put all these buttons? Okay, maybe I have a menu on the top, or maybe on the left, on the right. Where should I put? And then what the font size? How big is the icon? Okay, so when we switch, do we include some like animation or like any like transition effect? Okay, or are we giving any feedback? So let's say I click on this button, so we have a vibration. Sometimes like for the we're using the phone, when we touch some buttons, tap on something, we have the sound, we have the voice, or we have the button, we have the feedback, like vibration. So all these things we will consider for our design. Okay. So for the dialog, when we contain this XML, let's say, okay, if I communicate with the computer, if let's say I want to ready to work, so it will ask you what kind of task we're going to complete, and then you want to check the message. So why not we do have a Siri here to handle it, and well, we can type it by through the text. So that's how it works. And we see the pretty old style, I think this one. Here's the window, the media player, really long time ago. Yeah, so if you know, okay, yes. Okay, so we talk about the HIC, so how the appearance like suggests its function. So it's really easy to capture. Okay, so let's say I want to play. So it will be like this. So when we design something, we can compare at like Apple and traditional window. Okay, when they launch Apple, it's something weird. Like I know some of you using the Mac, or some of you only using Windows. Okay, so can you tell something you don't like Mac, or like you think Mac is really weird? Do you have some idea?
Yeah, I'm Max weird.
Weird.
I'm not a fan, but I also.
But what kind of things, like when we talk about the UI? Because like even we talk about the like the UI of Mac, you say it's weird. But what kind of things let you feel it's weird? It's not like user friendly.
Well, instead of like when you open the tab, the minimize, expand.
Okay.
On the left side.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so let me open a new folder.
Started on DOS. So I've been on Windows for a long time. I was very small.
Let me start it. Okay, let's say I have a download document, so it's right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, put it on the left. So it's like talk about the user experience, or like because we use Windows a lot, we are already get used to it, everything on the right hand side. Okay. Also, our cursor most of the time stay on the like right top angle. So when I click the close, it's easier. Okay.
There's one thing I do love about
that. Okay.
And that's when, if your cursor is not just immediately evident, you can kind of frantically move.
Okay. Yes. Yes. You see right here. Okay. Okay. It's right here. Okay. Okay.
I've always loved that.
Okay. So all this will be the okay. But that was the extra features. But here's like, how can the icons like telling you all the meanings? Okay. So right here on the top, they are not meaningless. So if this one is the folder, you see a small folder, right? Down low, you can see the icon. I would like to show you the icon. They have like flat icon. I think flat icon is one. Okay, bulb and okay. Okay, so all these icon, they do have some meaning. So when you try to like create a system design for app, then you need to choose. You cannot, of course, you can choose anything, use anything, but we will use the icon with some like meaning represent. Okay, if I want to have a player, okay, I want to play something. I need to search, right, certain functions or play, but then nope. And
So you want to kind of incorporate, you want it to be intuitive, but also try to incorporate your branding.
Okay, it's right here, play, okay. Okay, so I use the flat icon is one of the library you can use if you implement for your website or for your app. Of course, you can use. Okay, you have multiple, so many options. Also, we have something start or pause. So is it contain two different functions? So it's the same. If you click on it, so you can start it and then pause it. Maybe you will using the icon like this. Okay, maybe this one you are allowed to play, but you cannot stop it. Then maybe you choose one, or you can switch it. Okay, so maybe when you start to play, then you can show the arrow like this. But once you're playing, then you need to show the pause icon. Okay, or others. Okay, and then depends on style. Okay, if you want to have one looks more like smooth curve, then you need to like choose something like this. Okay. So, this one. So we say the HIO, what we have right here. And then for the object side, we need to like visible with the feedback. So when we click on something, okay, what the feedbacks comes out. And also when we try to like, when we need to have a response. Okay, when we click on it, sometimes if you see this one, here's the picture is that when you test it, click on the testing the like the left speaker, right speaker, and medium. So when you click on it, it have some like sound comes out. So I know okay, it's from my left speaker. That one is played from my right speaker. Okay, so it always have an interaction. So click on it, so it works. And consistency, like across the platform. So when you create the app or system, you need to make sure you cannot say, okay, in this page, I use this style. Okay, it's like curve run, and then when I jump to another page, I use another cut. Okay, another type. Okay, so that's why we say try to make sure it's like consistent. Okay. So within a switch of application or particular application, continuity, so consistent across the release over the time. Okay. And maybe you have like several version, like start from the first version until maybe the latest one. Okay, so we need to make sure everything consistent. If you do have some like huge change, maybe let's say if I'm using iPhone and then start with iOS 18, they change all the icon like to curve run. Then you need to have you need to have an announcement and teach like what's the difference, what's the change. So you will let the user know. Okay. Otherwise, you will stay with it. And then Windows like continuity. So you see the page right here, long time ago, Windows 7, all the icons right here. And then when they switch to Windows 8, but they will still have same icon, even they put them into a different location in the menu, but they do have I know the maybe Microsoft Word, Excel, they do have same icon, Chrome. So they didn't really have they changed the location, they put it in somewhere else, but they do have the same icon. Discoverability. So it's help the user discover the hidden features, so objects, active discovery, like the mouse, like the handover, woofer, and pops-ups and tips. Okay. We always have contradiction. Like we want to make it like simplicity. Lots of people talk about simplicity. We want to make it really clear. Here's the same idea to me. Let's say I want to make my desktop. Okay. Okay. I have an empty desktop. Close it. Okay. To me, I hate my desktop with so many icons. Some people like to like put their desktop so many things. Okay, if I want to make it really like simple, I don't want to have so many things. That means I need to provide some method to search certain content or like a file documents, then maybe I need to have a search bar. Okay. So search bar, and then I can like search anything, documents, or I can have a shortcut right here on the right hand side to find certain things. So that's how you decide. Okay. So here you can choose everything. And right now, one more thing is about our cell phone. Right now, it's pretty common. We need to right now you don't have to need somebody to teach you you control your cell phone. Right? So if you need to enlarge the screen, either you can use like two finger enlarge it, or like make it smaller, or sometimes you can use double tap, so it will enlarge the screen, and double tap to change back to normal, and then we can scroll down using your finger. Okay. I know here's the thing, if even using a Mac, because for the MacBook user, I using mine and using others MacBook, I'm not feeling really convenient, because when even we are doing scroll down, you know, I push up and down is some people think it's in different direction. I'm not so sure like how many of you using a MacBook, and it's like, so if you need to go down, like how do you use your finger? Or like how can you scroll down or up? Because I use finger like push up to scroll down. How about yours? That I saw you using a MacBook. So so if when let's say if I need to scroll down, my finger is like pushing up. So I'm doing it this way. Yeah. So how about yours? Like I know some where they have like called the natural scoring. So that means natural is like using for same as the mouse if we used mouse before. But for the Mac, I just like do it in the indirect, like opposite direction. So are you doing same as me, or like how about others? Same. Okay. But this one is by default. Like Mac, like Apple, they just like doing everything opposite. So they don't want to be same as Windows. So when I using, but of course you can change it, like go back to normal. So if I want to scroll down there, I can point your finger. So when I use the Windows, maybe Windows, I will say, okay, I want to scroll down, then it goes like going up. So really depends on how we use. Sometimes like I want to be different. So you need to really think, are you the company changing the whole industry? Are you changing the game? Or you want to follow it? Okay. If you are just like implement a system like to those users for their daily use, like maybe for company, then you don't try not to change everything. Okay. Yeah, just like follow stick to the regular, or like the most of the time we say that that's why we talk about user experience. If the cross button always on the top right corner, stay on the top right corner. Don't put it somewhere else. Okay. Try not to like hide and then let the user to find where's the close button. Okay. It's like you have to catch the like click on the button and then move to somewhere else. So we are not trying to create changing the game, but stay on it. And then with the mobility and navigation, so we need to try to put the text like it's like easy to read. If it's more about instruction or a message, try not to use any like italic or something like signature letter. Okay. It's hard to read it and it's meaningless like to use those letters. If you are like using for design graphic, of course you can do that. But if so, that's why you barely like never see no matter Mac or on your cell phone, Windows, you never see some like the title like for the system is using some like special character. So they are really like traditional. Even if you like Apple, then you can use their fonts, and maybe we have so many. I can show you. I have so many fonts right here. So okay, I do have something. Let me copy. Okay. If I want to give you an instruction, suppose you are not really like giving me the instruction or like pop a message in this way, because it's really hard to read. Okay. So I would choose something is really common and popular or easy. Maybe let's say this one is the Apple they're using, the fonts. If you're using the Ubuntu, so we have the Ubuntu fonts. Okay, still look fine because you're able to read it. I think I have more even crazy. Let me see, I have more fonts. Still okay, not bad. And okay, or something like this. Okay, okay, have different colors. Okay, even have a cat text. Okay, so yeah. So you can install different forms, but really depends on your application. What's your purpose? Then you need to design a correct, like easy to read, and I will be able to navigate. Okay. So we need like clear navigation and like reverse navigation. That means how can we go back? Okay. For the website, sometimes like when we take a multiple products from the category and then subcategory, subcategory, and then products. But if I want to go back to the previous category, how can we do that? Okay. Then we need to decide and then usability and efficiency. So try to give lots of shortcut. If we have the folder of a Windows, so you know the left hand side, we have the let's see, I have a folder on the left, open a folder. So maybe I try to give myself some shortcuts like frequently use. Then I can like just click on it so I can access it directly. Okay. And then we have some like meaningful error message. When we submit the content and then maybe return from the server, so if something is incorrect, then maybe sometimes we will give it like red in color, maybe below the our input field. So I'll know, okay, so maybe the username is incorrect, the password is incorrect. And when we decide, I can ask you a question. Okay, let's say I have a login page. I'll allow you to input the username or email and password. Okay, so if you input something wrong, so what will be the common error message did you receive? Did you like one version is like they would tell you your username is incorrect, your password is incorrect, your email is incorrect, or they will tell you your email or password is incorrect or are incorrect. Which type of message will you give to the user, or which type of feedback? Okay, one more time. Okay. But don't know why. But for this one, actually, it have some like security issue we consider. But for this feedback, like we telling each one, so we need to think about: do we need to tell clearly to the user which one is incorrect or just like ambiguous? Like I don't know. But actually, a server they know. Okay, they know both of them both are incorrect or either one of it is incorrect. But you will never see they tell. But what's the reason? You know why? Yeah, well, why they are so not like user friendly? Or say why they don't tell me directly? Okay, isn't my why don't you tell me? Okay, maybe my username is correct, but my password is just wrong. Okay, so why don't you just send me give me a message? Okay, your password is incorrect, but you have to say username or password is incorrect. Why they design this way? Any guess? Yes. Okay, yeah, you channel disclose. So of course, so that's why like for the user experience, like for user, I want to have a specific error message, right? Okay, but for the security level, like when we consider on the security side, if I telling you if I'm the one want to hack or I want to like steal your user information, if I tell you okay username match, then I just focus on testing the password. If I don't know which one, I need to spend more time to test. Like I don't know if my username is matched or my password is matched. So I can let the hacker or like the person want to steal your information, like takes so long time to try. Okay. Sometimes we give up the for the like efficiency, but to provide a higher security. Okay, so for the page right here, but also we need to think how to make it clean and simple, but also looks we say fancy and tidy. For the old school, sometimes I say when I look at this, it's like pretty old school without CSS and too simple. Then why now actually if we are like working on the UI design, there are some lots of freelancers they're doing this, they will outsource the job. Is you don't have to implement the source code, but you can work on the layout of the website. Okay, you can only like using create all the storyboard. You can put where the buttons, where the menus, and are you putting any banner? For this design is like pretty old school, like pretty common, but right now I think when we change a lot. Okay. And for the use case and the menu hierarchies, and we design like use case by use case, so one by one, and the menu like way to organize the access. So we always need to have a menu. Okay, and most of the time, where are the menu? Okay, are we hiding the menu, and then do we try to provide a sidebar? Well, sometimes right now we create some website, we do just like put the menu on the left hand side, right hand side, or on the top. Okay, and maybe different type of user, we have different menu. Okay, if I log in as an admin, maybe I have something like VIP or just like regular user. So on this, we need to design the UI, and then here I'm showing you just like two types. So this if you look at this one is the IE. Okay, so it's pretty old, and then the word on the top, and then the buttons. Really, based on the purpose of the application, so we will put the UI. So, but so far it's like based on or follow the trend. Okay. When we design a system, you need to also like to design the UI, and you need to think about, okay, is this one is like only for desktop, or am I provide the application on the cell phone? And I need to design a cell phone, or I just allow the user using this the website access. So for cell phone, tablets, how we organize? Sometimes we have called a responsive UI. So responsive for a desktop, I'm showing 4 products in a row. Okay, if for a tablet, I change to 2. And if I'm access through the cell phone, then I just showing 1 product, and they're vertically, so 1 product per row. Okay, so you need to do it. And if you remember here, we put the actors a use case right here. So based on the use case, then we can develop what are the possible interface we need to create. Okay, let's say we have the use case handle the sales, like search product. So we have the search bar, and then we have the like sales, we have the function, the cart. So where should we put the cart, and then shopping cart or the functions. So we can put the tables, which help us to build the UI. And here, if you remember, we have the analyze models with the input form. So here's one example we talk about. We have the actors, and then also the actor with the system. Okay, So for the actor customer, we create the profile, and then we return the information with their customer ID, and then maybe we'll enter the address, and then we also like input the credit card information. And after we input all those like payment information, and we will return the credit card info details back. Okay, so if we have the flow like this, we have the model diagram, then how can we convert it to a UI? So right here, I have a customer ID and then name, mobile phone, and then home page, the home phone, and then email address. Okay. And of course, we have some buttons. So where should we put the buttons? Like below it, on top, on the right, and cancel next page. And also when we're switching like one-to-one, so we say there's storyboard. So we have different dialogues to showing, okay. We also say the natural flow of dialogue, so between the user and computer. So we just like based on the flow of the activity. Okay, so we have the activity and draw and use the natural language to emphasize the feedback to user. Okay, really be careful because for developer, it's easy to make mistakes. Like for developer, we have certain syntax message is useful for developer, but sometimes we need to convert those message to just normal user who don't know. You need to think about from the point of view of like regular user knowing nothing about computer. They don't know programming. They don't know the issue. So you need to tell them, okay, the message directly, clearly, or like you don't have to make it too complicated. Okay. So you need to think about those things. And then we will create a storyboard of the dialogue showing like the sequence. I'm thinking, let me see if I have it. I think it's called the in design. Yes. Okay, I can show you storyboard. But you need to do the demonstration, or you may not for the design. You're not really like implement everything, but if you need to create a storyboard, like have an interaction when you click on something, and then what's the feedback? What's the next page? I can show you what's the InDesign. Let me have some time to load it. Okay. And here's the example of like the dialogue for the storyboard. Let's say the system report I would like to do, and then I would like to check out. So based on the dialogue, then what's the feedbacks right here? So based on the storyboard, like change convert the dialogue to storyboard, then maybe I have a button, have a menu called cart, and then check out. Or nowadays we move to the top right corner, so it's pretty common we're using for the website, right? And when we add to cart, and then we can access directly. Maybe here say when I hit it on the cart and find the checkout, maybe I think we are barely designed this way. So let's say I'm using Apple network. Let's say Apple. Okay, so Apple Store. Maybe if you look at the Apple Store, we always like the bed or the car. So once you access, we can click on the button. So you will able to see the product you add to bed right now. And if you want to check out, you can quickly check out from the bed. So you don't have to click on the menu and then find the sub menu and then go to the exactly. If you want to let the user to check out faster, then you need to put the checkout button like maybe big enough and easy to access. Okay. Or like you always they put the card, like the floating card on your right hand side, then you will able to see, okay, if once the customer want to check out, they just click on the button. Okay. If you want to let the user to like looking for more products, and maybe once they click on it, and then you need to pop out like some related product, so they need to have a click on the cancel button to remove it. Maybe you will provide bad experience. So as a team, like when you design the system, then you need to think, okay, what the possible way the user will enjoy. Okay. So this one is called the InDesign. So I think if you're the student account and you create, if you want to create a web page, so you can choose the web page, so you can start it with. So it's running sometimes. Yep. Let's wait. Let's wait. Okay. So here's a more about the dialogue. So this one is about the shipping. Okay. So if I want to send, I want to get the free UPS ground shipping. Okay. So we need to get the shipping address. And do you want to your like order shipping to that address? We have option no, and then you can type a new address. Then how can we design the UI? Maybe right here. So I have an option. So do I have a default address. If you are using the, let's say you're using Amazon. So after you add everything to a cart when you want to check out, so maybe it will pop up. Okay. So what's the shipping address? So maybe by default you have one. If you don't, then you should have a form to put the name and then the street number, like street name, and then maybe city, state, zip code, all the information. If your online shop is supporting overseas, okay, international, then maybe you are not only like you need to check, are you, because some country they're not using zip code, maybe some of them yes, then we need to also have an option let them to choose the country. Okay. And after they modify, so are you using OK or I use the button called name save? Okay. So all this you need to consider. Also, you need to consider, okay, right here, I put the OK and cancel. OK on the left-hand side and cancel on the right-hand side. How do you think this design? Or in the opposite, which way do you prefer? If I put, I'm not using OK, but I use save. Would you prefer the OK or the save on the left-hand side or save on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
So you would prefer stay with this one. Okay, so you're reading, so your culture is reading left to right. Okay.
So from a this development standpoint or from a revenue standpoint, specifically, we want the focus to be on what things we do next.
Okay, so you say, and then how about anybody thinking, I'd like to put it on the right hand side? No. Okay. So on your okay, so this one is like more about the language, like the background. So if let me think, what's the language?
Like, isn't Arabic written right to left?
Yeah. How about
For
Arabic?
example,
Okay.
If you were offering your products to Pakistan, you might have it on the exact opposite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if we say maybe the Middle East, right? Arabic. Okay. Middle East. If they are from right to left, then you maybe need to switch the UI. Otherwise, they always kick the cancel. Yeah. To me, it happened to me. Maybe I always confirm on the right. Then when I keep like kicking right, okay. After I tap everything, natural reaction. If I'm not familiar or not get used to like put the save or autumn OK button on the left hand side, then I'll always click the cancel. I spend 3 minutes to tap everything and then I can click on the cancel. Yeah. Okay. But he,
then you don't want to ejaculate. That's the end of the order or something else.
but have you considered, okay, you say because for reading, if I proposing one thing, because I right hand, okay, and using my mouse most time stay on the right side. Okay. If I'm doing this way, of course, like if I for the shorter path, I will hit cancel is faster than okay. Then if you consider in this way, then which way is better? Good to me, like I have to move from the right to the left and then hit the okay. Maybe when I move, I hit it by mistake. I hit cancel. Okay, it's still possible. So it depends on there's no definite like absolute answer. Say, okay, you have to do it this way. Okay. You can change it. Or if you want, you can put okay right here on the top or in the bottom. Yes, you can. Yeah. Or you can put the like confirm okay button only one. If you want to cancel, you put the cancel button, like small one right here. I never make a mistake. Okay.
You'd almost want to crowdsource opinions to see what the consensus is for design.
Yes, yeah. So also depends on your user feedback. So once we launch the app, that's what I did. My first company working. So for the app, so you will hear a lot of different voice. Okay, because for different user, they have different using habit. Okay. Some will tell you, I prefer you put the menu on the top, the button on like at this location. Sometimes they do it opposite. So sometimes depends on your designer, like your UI UX designer. So maybe say, okay, I like in doing this way. Also based on feedback. Okay, maybe also you need to check what is the using patterns. If your app actually you can try to insert certain code, it will save the user patterns. Okay, so most of the time, which location, like the area of if you're using the Windows or using your phone, so you will know. Okay, most of the time they will touch like maybe in the middle of the your phone, or the mouse they will stay on the right hand side. Then you need to keep the buttons. Most of the button maybe on the right hand side, message on the left hand side, maybe like this. Okay. So that's what we need to review. Okay. And so is the system we need to ask like for design is the customer application or like browser based? So what kind of devices with the user interface need to support? And then what operating system with the interface running on? So all these like question we need to ask before we start the UI, because all these will change our design. Okay. So right here, here's the called the InDesign. So you can put any text, and then maybe you can put a box text right here, and also you can put the link action and add other layout and create other layout, and then just like create some buttons and then change the color. If you're interested, then you can try to look at it and download the InDesign and follow this one. But this one we are not teaching like using the InDesign. So, and you can create anything like graphic, put the insert the picture, so you can simulate. Okay, so maybe you can put it as a homepage, and then you can say it's a homepage, and then connect bus, shopping cart. Okay, checkout page. Okay. Okay, and keep going. So for the desktop design, we have the let's say we have desktop, the laptop UI. Right now, cell phone is like maybe right now most of the users stay on the cell phone most of the time. Maybe when you design, then you need to think about okay, app go first, or it's a browser. We say it's a web based, but we need to consider to use the for the screen. Then how what's the layouts? Okay, and what's the format and those like grouping locations. If we are mainly all those like options using for the cell phone, then we cannot really make it like horizontal, but we need to make it vertical. We need to change like payment option, card types like vertically, and then all the input items should be a row by row, like line by line, instead of like making it this one. Okay. If you detect it's a desktop, then we make sure we want to make it a one page. That means I don't have to like scroll down or like break down the page into two. Then I won't I do need to like scroll back and check the information. Okay. So and how can we handle the data entry? So for certain data, is like are we using the we call the radio? So it's the radio we will allow like only one option. So you can choose either one of it. Or sometimes we using chat box. So it's allow like multiple options. And we have the drop down. So it's a drop down list. So you can choose, select it. For those like if you're working on the web programming, so you will create a page. If you need to create some page like this, then you need to consider, okay, what kind of information? Okay, for system design analysis, you just need to know, okay, how do we design the UI? Okay, and for address, it's a single line. Then when we handle like for international, do we need to provide two input like for the address? Okay, maybe one is restricted. So sometimes you will see sometimes restrict is required. So we will put like red asterisk, the red star over there, so to notify the user, okay, you have to input this one. Okay, for some there, if they're optional, then you can put like we have we call the placeholder. The placeholder tell you, okay, it's optional. If we have some like certain content, we don't know the actual format, so we will give the placeholder, give some like sample input. So that's everything like teach. Sometimes you cannot expect the user, okay, they should know it. They will know how to use it. And that means like when you show all those UI, when you decide about the like user experience, from their perspective, from the user perspective, maybe some maybe elderly, okay, maybe some kid, they will use it. How can they look at your screen like your UI? They know, okay, I know which next step should I take, okay, or like which button should I click. So if you're able to do that like without lots of information, instruction, they know how to do that, then it's a good UI design. And also like navigation, like visibility. So we need to put something really minimize, maximize, or if we need to enlarge something, how can we do it? Okay, and something it pops out, should we close it? For the mobile app. So if I think some of you experience the problem, let's say if you need to input something, log in, put your username, email, and password. So after you tap the email, is it automatically jump to next field, or like with the keypad being hidden, you need to tap it again or tap something, tap on the like other area, then it will be hidden. Okay. So when you implement, because you need to think about it, okay, for the user experience, especially for the small screen right here, if you always let the keypad like occupy almost like 1/3, then maybe it's not easy to read the information. I have to scroll down to see the information. Let's say I am input my critical information for checkout or address. Okay, because I multiple line, maybe it already occupy my whole page. If I always let my keypads like occupy 1/3 of it, then I need to let scroll down. So maybe after they input one information, maybe the street name, then maybe I need to once you hit the enter, maybe I would just like hide the keypad unless I tap on something else or tap the new input field. Okay. And we have the window forms. This one is the RMO. Is the one of the here's the example like for the whole PowerPoint. All the slides talking in the situation. If we need to for the customer support system. Okay, when I work on the product details. So where should we show the pictures? The product ID. Okay, and then what's the size, color, and then we always description. Do we have company logos? Where should we put? And you see the layout, the right here is pretty old school. It's an old Windows OS. So yeah, and so most of them let's say this one is for the admin for the admin to edit the content, modify. So is there anything is they can read but not allowed to edit it, or like anything they are going to choose? So if for price range we have minimum and maximum, so are we let them to have a drop down list or just an input field? They can type anything. Okay, and or I can like have a have a bar to drag it like for the range. If you know for some website, if you need to search within a range, so you can input the number or like drag it. Okay, so you can design. And here's the sample like web page. So this web page you see is a Amazon like this when you add to cart and then the cart information, and then you can how can I jump to the checkout quickly? Or I can like go back to edit my class, and then maybe I will showing like some related products. So that's how we design the layout. When we design for the web-based application, we do have some like layout or format considerations. So because we have multiple like Chrome, Edge, maybe Mac, we have Safari, Firefox. So for those different browser, we need to consider, okay, so what are the default setting of the layout, and then data entry or user action. So this one is called the client side, and then navigation and visibility. So compute yet simple. So this one is really crazy for the advertising. If you are the user, if you see something like this, the screen, then you barely don't want to click on it. Okay. Okay. I say yes against the hack. Yeah. For the checkout, so sometimes like I want to have a like details list. What's the actual products, address, building information, like item by items, if like the quantity and then subtotal, and then maybe sometimes like before tax, after tax. Can you allow me to modify? So like in the sometimes we go to checkout page when we are not allowed to modify, but we can still modify the quantity, or like remove the product in the cart. So also we can design all this. Wow. And for the smartphone, oh, mainly it's like one products per page. This is the maximum because the screen is like too small. Even right now we getting the like larger screen size, but we still stay with like one product per row, or like maybe showing one, because we have so many information like the product price description. Sometimes if you want to like show have a like quick access, maybe add to cart button, so I don't have to scroll down. When I see a product, I can click the add to cart. Okay, so it's the layout. So here's like all the format and review the data entry. So it will be like this smartphone. And how can we set the menu on the left hand side? Click on it. We'll put the home menu. Maybe we need to cancel it. And for tablet, or maybe put in like horizontally, or like do we allow the rotation? So once the rotation, we change the columns, be like this. And we keep going. And for the like design report and the statements, and report types like details report, summary report, like exception reports, all of those like and then contain some like specific information, transaction. So right here the report comes out. So we need to like generate, like we have the invoice receipt. So what the contents included. So if you are familiar, right now you see a lot like all those like PDF file. You can see like inventory import site. Sometimes when you click the button, like print, and then you can save as a PDF. So all this we will see, although we see the different report, and then electronic report, so we can have it, or like some like graphical multimedia report. So here electronic and some charts. So far will be everything right here. So when we talk about the UI, so just like including the direct user interface, or sometimes we including the system. Okay, and when we talk about the human computer interaction, so HIC, and then when we talk about the human computer object, so all those buttons, so relies on. We need to consider about we call the natural of user interface. We need to know the habit, what's the users. We always sometimes we review, and there's no standard answer and solution for UI, but it's in common way, like common sense and popular way. Okay. Unless we are like invest something new, but if no, then refer to the industrial. Like most of the people, how do they decide it? Okay. And here's all the idea about the UI. And that's it for today's class. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.